According to the UN, global fashion manufacturing doubled between 2000 and 2014. But more than half of those items are thrown out within a year. Chile has become the world's leading importer of second-hand clothing. But with growing textile waste, it's also feeling a little worse for wear. Tayyibe Aydin has the story.
Searching through mountains of discarded clothing, some of the poorest people in Chile's Iquique region have come to pick through the piles.
Today we came to look for clothes because we don't have any. We threw them all away when we backpacked here from Venezuela.
The area is one of the country's 3 free trade zones. Merchants from the capital Santiago come here to buy, resell and even smuggle items to other Latin American countries. But it's become a graveyard for unwanted clothing, with 2/3 of the 60,000 tons that arrive each year ending up as waste in the desert. Fashion is the second largest manufacturing sector in the world, worth around $1.5 trillion, according to data analysis firm Statistica. The World Bank estimates 75 million people are employed throughout the value chain, but it's also one of its biggest polluters. According to the UN, fashion is responsible for 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions every year, and 20% of all water waste. Clothing can take up to 200 years to biodegrade and is as toxic as discarded tires or plastics.
There's no doubt about the damage and environmental impact of these small-scale rubbish dumps in general, especially those of textile waste, for the communities in which they are located. They cause fires, which produce air pollution, and some dumps are located near densely populated areas.
Chilean companies have started looking for innovative ways to recycle clothing. One uses discarded items to make insulation panels.
This textile waste is generated by importing used clothing. Armies of people in the free trade zone select premium, first and secondary categories of clothing. The waste used to go to the dump, now we're using it as raw material for thermal insulation panels.
Another creates yarn from scraps of material and old clothing. The process doesn't require any water or chemicals.
Many people criticize us, saying, "Why are you charging for recycling?" The answer is because we have to teach people that generating textile waste generates a cost. The main solution to eliminating textile waste in Chile is to educate people about reducing their consumption of unnecessary textiles and to take charge of extending the lifespan of the clothing.
The fashion industry has pledged to halve its carbon footprint by 2030 and become carbon neutral by 2050. The UN has warned if it fails to meet these commitments, its emissions will surge more than 50% over the next decade. Tayyibe Aydin, TRT World.